the fight before then, which was Dustin Jacoby versus Iron Cutelaba, was insane. Now, Iron Cutelaba, he was pissed off after his last loss to Magomed Ankalev.
Yes.
Yeah, and literally that was the second loss to him because he was so pissed off from the very first one as well. When he claims that he was playing possum and he was all right, even though he was absolutely stumbling.
I thought he was still fine, to be honest. I thought he was still fine. I think it was premature for that stoppage. However, Magomed Ankalev is a really good striker.
Yeah.
And these Dagestanis are no joke. And when he properly took out Cutelaba, he took him out well.
And then he took him out again in the second one. And then Derek Lewis tweeted, "Damn, another bad stoppage," even though he was out cold. He was out cold. Now, Cutelaba came into this fight. He was so tough on Jacoby in the first round. He was hammering him with all these elbows. He did this really impressive thing you see with some fighters where they would wrestle and hold him up against the cage, have one hand on their head or their neck, and then use it as like an to distance themselves for an elbow, almost like you see with the 1-inch punch, but it was with their elbow. And he was just constantly hammering him. I think in the first round, Jacoby only threw 7 significant strikes to Cutelaba's 48. So what happened was you saw a case where the first round, the distance was so great, but then Jacoby made up for it in rounds 2 and 3, because in rounds 2 and 3, he came back, man, and Cutelaba, he was breathing hard. He was absolutely gassed.
100%. I definitely agree with the judge's decision, and it was a split draw. But I would say just draw. But if it's a split draw, it doesn't matter. It was a draw no matter what, because that first round I would believe is a 10-8. Yeah. Because Cutelaba just poured it on him. You could tell that he just blew his wad. Maybe. He blew his wad in the first round. Did a really good job against controlling Jacoby up against the cage. Jacoby was often crouched over, and Cutelaba, how many takedowns? I think he got a few. I think got 6 of 7 takedowns in the first round, and did really well at just controlling Jacoby, reining in so many punches and elbows up against the cage. Really did it well at controlling him for that whole round. But then you start to see it slowing down, especially in that second round. I really just think he blew his wad. I think he blew his wad in the first round, tried to take him out in the first round. It didn't happen. Second and third round, 10-9s to Jacoby. Yeah. So, it obviously becomes, because of that 10-8, it now becomes a draw, which is a little bit funny, because if you win 2 rounds to 1, you would think that, but because it's a 10-8 in the first round, it evens it out. That's the problem with using the boxing system, because boxing does not have 3 rounds. It has 8, 10, 12, 15. So that's the issue with using the boxing scoring. But if we are using that scoring, it was the correct decision. 10-8 in the first round, 10-9s for Jacoby in second and third. It comes to a draw. So I'll be open to having a rematch of that fight. Otherwise, they can always have a rematch in the future after they've had some successive fights. I thought Jacoby was doing very, very well, just tough. He's tough and durable.
Very durable. Because there was a noticeable size difference between Jacoby and Cutelaba. Even the commentary saying, geez, how many more shots can he take when he was up against him? And he just slammed him. I thought that Iron's wrestling was phenomenal. But then again, it was just this gas tank that held up to him, because there was a noticeable size difference between the two. And that's just all that extra oxygen that he needs. So it was a fair play. I mean, I definitely agree with the judge's decision.